All right, so we are slowly live streaming.
Cool.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today.
It's an honor to be here. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we really appreciate it too. How's everything going for you?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Got a little head cold, so
Oh,
just hanging in there. No COVID,
yeah,
so all is
yeah.
well.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, just the family passed it around, and I was the last one to get it. So it's the way it goes.
Yeah.
But
Well,
other than that, everything's going good.
Good. I'm glad. I wanted to congratulate you on your release. That's awesome.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's been really good. So I'm happy about it.
I was so happy that to see it released to Desert Records.
Yeah, that's a cool deal. Brad and I, we've been friends for a while, and he wanted to put it out, so it seemed like a good thing. So it's been great. I mean, communication, and like I said, we've been friends before. We've played together before, so it was a real easy transition.
Good. Yeah, I was pretty happy to see that, and I've just been paying attention to your posts on social media, and I see you guys have been out playing. Having some shows.
We've been pretty busy. We were supposed to play yesterday. That got canceled, and we have a big festival in 2 weeks. That got canceled. So seems like it's going to start being pretty hit and miss. So I don't know. I'm just going with the flow.
Yeah. Do what you can, right?
Right. Yeah.
Well, one thing I saw, Desert Records on their social media, one thing I saw that really caught my eye was he said that when people are feeling a little down, you will send them a video to try to cheer them up. And I thought, wow, that's a really, really awesome thing to do for people.
Yeah, I mean, I stay pretty active on social media, and like if I see, sometimes a friend will post something that is, they're down or whatever, and if I see it, and I can, and usually I can, I'd take the opportunity to just send a little video or just something to lift them up. We all go through shit, and it just, I mean, I know I go through shit, and it's nice when people pick me up. So it's the least I can do to pay it forward, So I don't think, I mean, some people mention that know about stuff like that, and they think it's special, which I guess it is or whatever, but it's nothing for me. I mean, I'm glad to do it. I'm here to help. I'm here to help, man. That's what I'm here for, is to write jamming music for people to enjoy, and then connect with people, and and try to bring some joy into their life. There's a lot of negativity, so I just don't feel like it's my job to add to that.
Yeah. Even though you don't think it's a big thing, it is. And
sure, I mean, I don't mean to minimize it or anything, but I guess what I mean is it doesn't take that much effort for me. It's not like I have to take a lot of time out of my day to do it. A lot of times it's like a 30-second video. You carry your phone with you everywhere. It takes, like I said, 30 seconds just off the cuff, and it means something to people. And I mean, that's the least I can do. People give to me all the time. The least I can do is give a little bit back, And you say, you never know. I mean, it can really turn somebody's day around, So if I can do that by just a few words, I mean, that's not effort on my part. That's just being nice, man. We just all need to be a little bit nicer to each other.
Yeah, I agree. And, you seem to be a really positive force in the metal community. And, I really admire that.
Well, that's very kind of you to say. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's just, I mean, I'm sure I'm as negative as everybody else, but I mean, that's just not what I want to put forth. There's plenty of that. If you want to find negativity, it's not hard to find, So It's just weird to me that, like, being nice and trying to be cool to people who support me, to me it's weird that people wouldn't do things like that. It shouldn't be out of the norm for somebody to somebody that lifts you up for you to lift them back up, you know. I just don't want to be an asshole. Like, I could be an asshole plenty of times, but that's just not the way I want to operate, you know. It doesn't, and I mean, I know it's cliche, but it doesn't bring back good things to you when you're not putting good things out, you know.
Right. Yeah, put positive things out in the universe.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's cliche and it's bougie shit, but it works. I mean, karma's undefeated, you know, like, just,
Yeah.
I respect karma, put it that way.
Yeah, and we all know about karma.
Right, yeah, it's undefeated. It'll slap you right upside the head if you're not careful.
Yeah, it sure will. That rug will get pulled right out from underneath you.
Right.
Oh, well, I'm glad to see you're doing well.
Yeah, everything's good. I can't complain. So, I mean,
that's good. And you're down in Texas, right?
I am. I'm in West Texas, pretty close to the New Mexico border, just out here in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
But I like it. I like being I live in a town that's about 25,000 people. And I like to go to the big city, be able to spend the time I want there, but be able to get out as well and kind of have a slower paced life, you know.
Yeah. Enjoy the finer things.
Right.
What's the closest big city to you?
I'm right in the middle of Amarillo and Lubbock, which are, I mean, big city. They're 250,000, something like that. Not super huge, but yeah, I'm 5 hours away from Dallas, 6 hours away from Austin, 7 from San Antonio. So I do a lot of driving.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I forget how big Texas is, you know.
Oh, I mean, you can make a tour around Texas, and it's about as long as going, the rest of America.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I wanna bring Andrew in. Is he still here?
Yeah, no, I'm still here. I just
Okay.
usually not usually, but a lot of the times the positions are reversed, where I'm the one doing the majority of the talking. So I figured this was nice to kind of see you take control of everything. But
well, I want to bring you in and
okay, yeah. We can tag in. I'll be like the nature boy Ric Flair coming in to, but what I was gonna say is you're the first musician I think we've talked to in one of these who has begun playing again. Most of the times that we've spoken to people, they were thinking about lining up gigs or stuff like that, but there was still quarantining, and it wasn't. So this is the first time I've spoken to someone who's actually been back out there since everything shut down. That's great. And I was listening to I guess the latest album, is that number 3?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, I didn't know this before I started listening to it, but Heather told me it's just 2 of you in the band.
Yeah. There is just 2 of us in the band, and for the first 3 records so far, just by circumstance, I play all the instruments. So I play the drums on all 3 records and do the guitars and the vocals and record it and mix it all myself. So yeah, it started out as a 1-man band, but obviously live I have to have a drummer, and I had a live drummer, kind of a hired gun, for 3 years or so. That kind of ran its course, and then I met the drummer I have now, and we had been friends before. He had been in another band, and so hopefully now I have a permanent member. It'd be nice not to have to do everything myself, Sometimes it gets to be a lot.
Well, it was amazing that you were able to get the sound that you were able to get with 2 people, at least from what I was listening to. So it was really great. And I think in the beginning, I think I was a little bit more of a purist, needing there to be more instruments sort of in the band. And then obviously within the last 10, 20 years, there have been a lot of examples of just two pieces that have been able to do everything. So well done. I would say definitely if you haven't picked up Redbeard Wall's latest, number 3, there's a ton of great stuff that I found on Bandcamp and iTunes. Just the previous, there's one live record, I think, and then there are a couple of other albums that are out, but it's great stuff.
Well, thank you, man. I'm really proud of it. I put everything that I had into it. And yeah, going back to like the 2-piece thing, like I'm out here by myself in West Texas, so it started out as more of a necessity, and got a drummer for, to play live and stuff. And it's just, a lot of it just boils down to, we like to play live a lot. And so with 2 people, the communication is so much easier. You're not having to plan around a whole nother family or a whole nother job, or, so as far as sonically, I don't know, it's always been enough for me. I've always wanted to keep it pretty simple in general anyway. So that kind of lends to the simplicity of it, not overcomplicating it. But yeah, really it's mainly for communication. Like if somebody asks if we can play a show, all I got to do is ask him, and we can move it on. So there's a lot of benefits to it. And like sonically in the studio, if I needed to, I can add whatever the hell I want.
Sure.
But I just want to keep it, I just want to be a rock band. When I started, I just kind of want to be like the heaviest version of the Beatles, or the heaviest version of Weezer, or something like that, But it's just kind of morphed into what it is, man. And it's been rolling for almost 5 years now, so I can't complain, man. People seem to dig it, so I just keep it moving,
Yeah, well, it certainly works, and I think it's one of those things where going into it, you have a goal that you need to adapt a little bit based just on what's going to make the most sense, and it reminds me of like Jeff from the band Titanosaur, which is just a one-person. It's like a similar thing. He writes the music, sings, plays the instruments, and then I'm sure when he starts to do something live, it'll be easier to just find one person rather than have to communicate with a bunch of people,
Definitely. And it's easier said than done. You still, even though I play the drums or whatever, I still have to have a drummer that, wants to do it and is enthusiastic about it. And like, obviously I know I'm not a dictator by any means, and I don't keep it as my thing. I would love somebody else to contribute and stuff, but it's just, it works. So we just keep it like that. But like I said, hopefully this drummer, like I said, he's been a good friend for a while. So hopefully this will kind of stick, and we'll do some more collaborative stuff, moving forward. But it's a lot, like I said, it's a lot. It's nice when you've got somebody to help in any shape or form,
Sure. Yeah, no, it's and it's one of the, I think I've certainly brought this up before, at least once. I don't know if it was on this particular program, but I remember I ran a group at school. Like every Friday they had groups, or like after school, clubs. So I created a music appreciation club, and we watched a documentary called Hired Gun, which was all about session musicians.
Yeah.
And Alice Cooper was talking about, how important it is to have a good relationship with someone. If you're going to be on a tour bus with them, or you're going to see them 20 hours a day, there are thousands of people out there who can shred, but not everyone is going to respect your peanut butter in the fridge.
Right.
So,
Yeah. That's it. That's a huge deal. And it's harder to find than you think. A lot of people are in things for themselves. And
oh yeah. Well,
it's
and I kept telling all of my students, guys, listen to what he's saying. It's more important to be cool to people and be able to communicate and understand that it's part of a team rather than can you play this Mixolydian scale in under 3 seconds? It's
Definitely.
just,
Yeah, and that's what most people don't realize. I mean, like the people person part of it is huge, and that a lot of times that can come before people hear your music. They may see a video of you first, or they may see your post or whatever, and those things can draw people in to want to hear your music. So it can all work together. It's not just about, well, they like my music, then they're gonna like me. If they like me first, then they're gonna be way more willing to give my music a chance. Like, well, he's a cool guy, so let me actually give this a shot. Whereas, if they don't think I'm a nice guy or whatever, they'll just move it on along. So it's definitely beneficial, and that's what it is. It's relationship. I mean, I very rarely have to like chase booking shows or anything anymore. Most everything comes to me, and a lot of it's because of that. Just because people know they can count on me. I'm not going to be a dick. I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do, and then they don't have to worry about it. It makes it easier on everybody. So that's definitely a huge part of it, man.
well, it's interesting because that's sort of how Heather had mentioned that we were going to have you on the show. But I had known about you already because some of the other bands that I've sort of met from the Texas area, like Monte Luna, I know you've played gigs with them.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like, oh, okay, well, if this guy's playing gigs with people who I already know, then he's probably somebody who's going to be either great to speak with, a great musician, like all these things that just sort of flowed from everything. But you're
Sure.
absolutely
Yeah. I
right.
mean, it's who you associate with. Like, if you're associated with cool bands and cool people, then cool opportunities are bound to happen. Like Monte Luna. I mean, I've been friends with James. I mean, since we both first started. So, like a band like Monte Luna, we've been on the same journey, along the same path, around the same area at the same time. So, I mean, it's only logical to be homies and to help each other out. And if they need us, we're there. Like, vice versa. I mean, it's just backup. It's hard enough. It's hard enough to do this without having like hindrances.
Sure. That's always been something that Heather and I have talked about, being sort of the backbone of this community. So one of the reasons, I really wouldn't call myself a musician per se. And this is more of like a hobby in terms of my enthusiasm. Like I certainly love music, but I spend the majority of my time writing, and the social media or the scene for like small press writers is a lot more cutthroat, where you have different factions with different
Sure.
publishers. And I feel like I always love going back to the music scene, because I feel like, particularly with the metal scene or the underground scene, everyone's really welcoming, and it's really, it's supportive, like you mentioned, with Monte Luna, or I know Thunder Horse was another group that I've seen from Texas. So it's great to know that there's like a regional scene of people you can count on. And because of COVID and technology, now it's become an international, scene of people. So hopefully there are going to be people, all around the world that hopefully tune into this and check out your music, look more into what you're doing, and it'll just keep building.
Yeah. Like you said, I mean, the social media, it's not my favorite thing to do. I do it a lot, but it's a necessary part of it. And like, if you use it right, it works. I mean, I have friends, like you said, I mean, I have friends, international, from everywhere. Like, I'm sending packages out everywhere all the time, so it definitely works, and people notice. And, there's a band, I can't exactly remember where he's from, but from overseas, and he asked me to sing on a song with them. They're called Church of Cthulhu. They're a
Oh
killer
yeah,
band.
I've had them on my podcast before.
Yeah. So he just hit me up out of the blue. I'd never known him or heard of them or anything, and he had seen my stuff and liked it and wanted to know if I would jump on a song with him. And so I did, and man, it's, now I have a lifelong friend because of that. just those kinds of things. It's about community, and it's like I said, it's too hard. It's too hard of a thing to do to be competitive about it, especially band to bands. Like if you're really in this for the right reasons and you're busting your fucking ass and you're doing the best you can, there's not time to be worrying about what other people are doing or whatever. So we just lift each other up, and you need help, we help you, and vice versa. I mean, just going from just little things, like if you forget a cymbal stand at the show, the other band is there to let you borrow theirs. Just those kinds of little things, because it's not like that everywhere. I used to, in the metal scene, like back in the late 90s and early 2000s, it wasn't like it is now. So it's definitely a cool change, and it just helps it get bigger because people are all together. It just makes it move. It makes it move in more massive ways than just everybody plugging along by themselves.
Yeah, well, it's certainly everything I've seen over the year and a half would suggest that it's very much a tight-knit community internationally. So it's been really great to sort of be someone who's on the outside with regard to my what I get out of it. I'm not booking any shows or looking to play shows or anything like that, but it's great just to talk to musicians and try to get as much of their music out there for other people to listen to. So it's great. It's everyone's really helpful and appreciative, and it's just a nice way to spend your time. And
definitely, and going back to like the Texas scene is amazing. Like it's a really tight knit group, but it's like you said, it's international. Like I mean, I've been on tour up the West Coast 3 or 4 different times. Been on the East Coast a bunch of different times. Like, and it's like that everywhere. As far as this scene goes, like I've been treated like family no matter where I've been. So I mean, you see a lot of negative things on the internet or whatever, but as far as this scene, I don't experience any of that kind of stuff. Like we're all in it together. We're all pumping each other up. We're all pushing each other's music, and so it just makes it easier and better. There's no dread to anything. Everything's excitement, and you're gonna get a hug from somebody you love. So can't beat that shit.
You sure can't. So I know you said that there was a show that had been canceled that you were going to play, but what would you say would be over the next 6 months or so? What's the plan?
Well, like I said, I mean, Texas is a little bit different than everywhere else. I mean, they opened it up here at the first fucking opportunity, and we've played quite a few shows. Most of them been outside, and everything's been great here in Texas. And we played in Arlington last weekend, and then, like I said, the show I was supposed to play yesterday got canceled, and then a festival in 2 weeks. So I don't know. We're just kind of playing it by ear. We have some stuff. I mean, in October, in November, in December, we have a big show in Austin at the 1st of October. So, but I mean, we're just kind of in a lurch right now, just seeing what's happening. I mean, it's just changing, day by day, week by week. So I don't know. I had a feeling this was going to be coming. So you just gotta, I don't know, you just gotta kind of do what you can.
Yeah, just sort of ride it out.
Yeah. I mean, it's been nice to play some shows. I mean, we've got some really good momentum going. I mean, we've been performing really well. I'm really happy about shit. And then, the next 2 get canceled. So it's just hard to it's kind of hard to navigate the roller coaster, just when you think things are going to be, get going back to as normal as they can be, or at least progressing that way. But I'm afraid we're in a setback period. So I don't know. We're putting off tour planning and stuff like that just to kind of see what happens. We have some stuff planned for around May of next year. So hopefully that's far enough out to, for that to still work. But I mean, like touring, I mean, even like a 2-week, 3-week tour, it takes months of planning, and coordination and all that stuff. So it's just hard to commit to planning on something like that when you're, I mean, really it's 50-50 whether it'll happen or not, you know, so.
Right. Now I know 3 came out in July. So are you always sort of working on new material for the next thing, or are you taking a bit of a break?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a simple man. I'm a one-track mind kind of guy. So if I'm in writing and recording studio mode, that's the mode I'm in. If I'm in live mode, I kind of stay in that mode. So at the moment, I'm in live mode, and we've been playing a lot. So I haven't really been writing anything new, or you know, just kind of gaining some life experience, and you know, the new songs will come. But
Sure.
yeah, I try to just, I'm a step-by-step kind of guy. I'm not a great multitasker.
Yeah, no, well, you know, you don't have to be. You just, if it works, it works.
Yeah.
It seems like it's been working, so why rock the boat?
That's right. Yeah, man. Just, you know, we don't do nothing out of the ordinary. We just work, man. Just keep it moving forward. You know, one foot in front of the other. You know, I look at it as a marathon, you know, not a sprint. You know, so I
do
just kind of
know
do my thing, support my friends, and just kind of keep trudging along. And hopefully, when it's all said and done, we'll be somewhere up towards the top anyway.
Yeah. Now this question, you may have gotten this plenty of times before, but may I ask how long you've been growing the beard?
Yeah, I've been growing it, I guess, since the band started. So
About
I'd say
5 years?
4.5 to 5 years. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have a ways to go before I catch you.
Hey, it's about commitment, man. You just gotta just let it grow and forget about it. And
Right.
before you know, you'll be like, man, I'm looking very nice, you know. But yeah, dude, it's like, you know, people ask me all the time about like eating or drinking or, you know, all kind, but it after so long, it's almost like it's another arm or an appendage, you know. So I don't even notice it anymore. Anytime I notice is when somebody brings it up, you know.
Right, of course.
But I mean, I'll catch it in the mirror sometime, and I'll think, man, you're looking pretty good. You're looking pretty good. For an ugly guy, you look pretty good.
When you tour across, you know, when you travel and you play at different places, do you tend to play at the same venues? Have you built relationships with certain venues and you play at these certain venues? Or
Yeah, definitely. Like,
yeah.
I mean, that's one of the parts of like the, you know, of the networking and stuff with the promoters, and that's, I mean, yeah, that's basically our last tour was from that. I mean, we knew the promoters from the previous shows, and a lot of the venues are the venues we play in, so they become like little homes away from home. You know, there's some that are more famous than others, you know, but that's one of the things I love the most is just, you know, going to the different venues and meeting the different promoters, and you know, you just kind of filling up your address book for the next time. But it's like, you know, my thing is like with my drummer and just in general, like the word that always is on my mind is impressive. I just always want to be impressive, whether that's the music, how we perform, how I talk to you, just the impression that you have of us when we leave, you know, that kind of stuff is important to me. Like I want people to know that they can count on us, and you know, and that we're all friends in this. It's like I always go back to like what you were saying about reviewers, or like people who y'all doing podcasts and stuff. Like y'all are every bit as important as what we do. We all do this together. Like if there's nobody for me to talk to, there's no podcast. You know, if y'all aren't talking to me, I can't talk to you. If people don't come to the shows, I can't play for them. You know, so there is no me without people like y'all. And like, so, I mean, I take it all together. You know, we're like one big organism that, you know, everybody has their part. My part is, you know, playing a guitar, whereas y'all's part is more doing podcasts, you know, but they're both just as important as each other, you know. So, and I have a real hard time with like the fan thing. Like, I just consider like, if you listen to my music, we're friends, you know. So I keep it on that level. Like, you know, I talk to people that way. Like we're all the same, you know. I'm no more important important than you are. You know, it doesn't work without both of us. So that's kind of how I, you know, my mental mindset is of it. I just want to be impressive, and I want to leave people being like, that was a rad dude right there, you know. Just if it's just for a brief time or whatever, like they go away thinking like, well, that's a cool dude that, you know, I'm glad I met, basically. Is really it's nothing extraordinary, man. I'm grateful for what I'm able to do, so I want to let people know that I'm grateful for them as well.
Yeah, I never understood the need to tear other people down. I never got why people that are working towards the same goal, you know, and we're all in this together. And I never understood the need to tear someone else down.
Definitely.
You know?
And it's, I mean, even as adults, I mean, it's sometimes things can be very high schoolish and clicky, and, you know, dependent, you know, scenes are scenes, and those are your people. And so, and that's what's so cool about our scene, is it's not like that. It's not like, well, if you're from Austin, you're part of the Austin clique, or if you're from Dallas, you're part of the Dallas clique. You know, we're all together, you know. We're all together as far as community, we're all together as far as a state. Our state is together with Louisiana as far as stoner sludge doom metal, just as it's the same with Maryland. I mean, it's one big thing. It's not little bitty pieces that make up one big thing. It's just literally one big thing, you know. So when one of us does good, it lifts everybody, you know. So I'm proud to be a part of this scene. I've never necessarily thought like my music was stoner rock or anything like that, but this is the scene that has accepted me, and you best believe I'm gonna accept them and do what I can to fucking raise it up, you know, to the best of my ability anyway.
Yeah. It's, you know, and I'm an outsider, you know, because I'm not a musician. So I'm kind of an
But
outsider.
that's what I'm saying. Like, you're not an outsider. You are one of us. Like, we're all together. So I just want to throw that in there. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, you know, and that's the wonderful thing that we've been talking about, you know, even though I, you know, have always felt like I'm kind of an outsider, the metal community has accepted me, you know, and I feel like it's part of my family now, you know.
Definitely. And we're all outsiders. This is our inside, you know. Every one of us comes to this kind of music, or comes to these kind of people, because we are outsiders, and we're looking for some inclusion, you know, and that's what this gives us. So it's not something, I mean, it's special. It's not something just to be, you know, poo-pooed away. Like, it means something to a lot of people, you know. So
It really does.
yeah.
It really does. Well, do you have anything besides working on getting shows? Are you working on anything else?
That's it right now. Just like I said, just kind of seeing what happens. But I mean, if it's the case where things start to get canceled, then I'll go right back into writing mode. I mean, I don't not in a braggadocious mode or anything, but I mean, I've got riffs aplenty. Like, I can, if I want to do another record, I could do another record. So I just kind of just feeling everything out and seeing what's best, and, you know, just taking it day by day, I guess. I guess that's all we can do right now.
Yeah. It's kind of, like you said, it's
You just
yeah,
adapt.
we don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
I'm
And
sorry.
I mean, you just kind of adapt day by day, and like, well, can I do this today? Well, then I'll do this today. You know, if I can play a show next weekend, then I will. And I'm very, you know, conscious and concerned about COVID and stuff. And I don't want to be putting other people in danger just because I want to play. You know, I mean, there's just a lot of different factors that go into it. And as of right now, it's just like a show by show basis. I mean, is this smart to do? Is this not smart to do? Like, it's just a hard spot for us to be in, because I mean, all we want to do is just fucking play. I mean, you know, so I don't know. It's just I've never experienced anything like it. Like, I know y'all haven't either. It's just kind of, it's weird to navigate. You just don't know what's going to happen a week from now. So it's hard to plan a month from now, you know?
Well, it seems like you have a really good outlook for everything. And I wish a lot of people could, listen to what you're talking about, because I feel like that's one of the best ways to address just in life with the uncertainty of the next, of the future, and just sort of, there's certain things you'd like to do. Obviously, you'd like to be playing more shows. That's a little bit more difficult to try and arrange when it could be canceled because of the amount of work that goes into it.
Right.
But you're rolling with the punches. If it's going to be a time to play, you'll play, and if it's going to be a time to write, you'll write, and if it's going to be a time to just sit back and chill, I'm pretty sure you can do that too.
Definitely. Yeah, you're exactly right. It's just, you just got to try to keep as a positive attitude as you can. I mean, it sucks, man. Like I said, we've never experienced anything like this. I don't know what's going to happen. All I can take care of is like what I can take care of today. Like, and just be like, well, this is not going to happen. The shows got canceled. One of them I was really excited about. Thought was a great opportunity, but I mean, it's not going to happen. So, I mean, there's no point in dwelling on it. Just see what the next positive thing you can do. Like you said, I mean, and that's good about being versatile. Like if I need to go and write another record because we can't play shows for another year, then damn well believe there will be another record. It's not something like, I mean, I know like going back to cliches and shit, but this is not something I just do. Like, I mean, I have to do this or I'll die. Like, so it's going to be happening. However, I have to morph it, however flexible and malleable I have to be about it. Like, I'm going to be playing music live or I'm going to be putting out music. So, anything else is just kind of around the outside.
What sounds great. And I'm looking forward to either hearing a new album, news of a new album, or hearing about more live shows you're going to be playing as I wear out my copies of number 3 and the others.
Hell yeah, dude.
So it'll be great.
Yeah, man. Like I said, it's just you just do the best you can and keep it moving and support your friends. And if other bands are putting stuff out, support it. If you can go to shows safely and you feel comfortable with it, do it. If not, don't. Nobody's, like health is the most important thing, so just make your own decisions. And, there's so much shit out there, and I know people are divided about everything, but just put yourself in other people's shoes sometimes. You don't know what people are going through. Shit is coming at us so fast nowadays. Like, it's hard to decipher stuff. So I just want to try to be patient, with people and do the best I can with my music and shows and then that kind of stuff. And just be a place where people know that if they see me cross their timeline or whatever, they hear my music cross their timeline, that's a little bit of negativity that they're not going to have to worry about,
Definitely. Well, I think what's great is for people out there who are just looking for great music. Now, I know you had said that the stoner rock community has sort of been the ones to accept it. And if I were going to put a description to it, I would probably say that's, the genre, but it's just great rock and roll music. So if you're looking for that, check out Redbeard Wall. And what's even better is the outlook you have on everything is a winning outlook. Like, you can't really lose that way. Either you'll be able to play shows and it'll be, in an environment that's healthy for people, or you'll go back to writing, or, whatever the next thing is. And because you're putting, looking at it like that, it will come back to you like that. I mean, just in turn, how, if you believe that karma rewards good action, or if you just believe that karma is energy coming back to you that you've put out there, whatever it is, I have a feeling it's probably going to be beneficial to whatever it is you want to do. And if me saying that right now makes that happen, then that's awesome. Because and I've only just met you today, but I already hope that good things keep happening.
Well, dude, that's very kind. And I mean, like I said, I mean, we've just met each other today. I mean, I've seen what Heather's been doing, and thank you for everything you do. But like I said, I mean, we're just friends. Like, it's just, we haven't, just up until this point, we just haven't had the pleasure of being able to speak to each other. That's all it is. You know, we just, for whatever reason, our paths hadn't crossed up until this point, and now they have. We were friends before, and now we know for sure we are. So, you know,
Yeah.
it's just like I said, we're family, man, and that's how I treat it. Like,
Well, it's great.
it's hard for somebody to be an asshole to you when you're nice to them, you know. So I just try to be nice, and you know, and I am nice. It's not an act or anything like that. It's just the way I choose to operate. That's basically how it is, you know, and it's worked for me so far, so I just double down on it.
Yeah, well, I had not been familiar with you. I mean, I'd known you'd played with some bands that I was familiar with, and then I listened to your music. But Heather was really excited because she had, she had known about, your interactions with people on social media, and she told me, she's like, I'm really excited to have Aaron on the show because he's a really great positive influence in the scene, and he'll bring a lot to the table. So once I heard
Thank
that,
you,
I
Heather.
was all about it. Yeah. So Heather really, not that she needed to go to bat for you at all, but she did. So
Right, and I mean, that's part of it too. Like I said, we've never talked to each other before, but she got, you know, she was able to get the vibe of the thing. And like most of us like doing this, we're real, man. There's no fluff around it. You know, like this is what we do. We've dedicated our lives to this, you know. So, you know, you pretty much know what you're gonna get. And most of it's great, man. Like I said earlier, like and maybe I'm the exception, but I've been around the country many times. I've played many places with many different bands. I just have not experienced anything other than kindness and support and, you know, and then friendship, and not just fucking fleeting friendship. Like a lot of the times you go to a place, you meet the bands you're playing with, and like I'm friends with those guys for the rest of my life, you know. It's just it's a weird and cool thing, you know. It's just cool what music and what all this can bring to you, man. It's just positivity and joy, and it enhances your life. It's something that you can be like, oh shit, I got a podcast today. This is gonna be rad, you know, rather than like, oh, what kind of asshole am I gonna be talking to today, you know? So it helps everyone.
yeah, well, it's and I don't want to speak for Heather, but I'll say for me, and being part of this has been a really wonderful experience based on everything you've said. Just meeting some great people, being part of a scene that's very welcoming, listening to some great music, and trying to do our part in the machine. Getting speaking to people, getting music out there for people, putting people together in terms of marketing or social media or whatnot. So it's been a great time for me.
That's awesome, man. I mean, I love to hear that, you know, and like I said, we appreciate you, man. It's not something that goes unnoticed, or you know, I'm sure people don't thank you as much as you need to be thanked. That's for sure. I mean, none of us are, but you know, but it's like it's fucking, and for me, it's like so serious and it's so important to me. So I mean, why would I not fucking, you know, lift y'all up? It's just, to me, it's ridiculous to be the other way. Like, I guess just, you know, if you just sit down and think about it a lot, it's just like, that's just dumb to operate, you know, in a negative space, or like think you're better than somebody else, or whatever it may be. Like, you know, it's just like you said, we're all in this together, and I think that's one of the main problems now. You know, like if more things could be modeled after like our music scene, you know, things could be a lot better. You know, but it's a rough time, and it's a rough time for everybody. And like I said earlier, I'm not gonna contribute to that roughness, you know. Like if you see me, then you know that like there's a little bit of a respite from all of that shit.
Yeah, I couldn't say it better myself. If you're looking for a respite, go check out Redbeard Wall's music. I'm sure there's some performances people can find if they're not in Texas on YouTube. But yeah, no, it's a great project to be part of. If you can listen to the music, if you can buy the music on Bandcamp or whatever, get a T-shirt. But and if you're in Texas, you can go see the band play at some point, whenever the next show is. But yeah, it's just great. It's great that you're out there with the attitude you have, making the music you are. It's just nice to know.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah. And like, it's like, I haven't always been this way. I was an angry young man, I had the normal struggles that a lot of people have, and you can stay living like that, but at some point I made a choice not to live that way. And it's just like, you have bad habits, you can also have good habits. You can train yourself to do better and be better, and if you do that continually and repeatedly, it becomes who you are, and then you're not having to worry about it. You're just cool, man, and you can see it on people's faces, when I talk to them after a show and they look at me a certain way, and then I'm talking to them like they're an actual person. That I do understand that means a lot. I never hold myself up on any kind of pedestal or anything like that, and I try my best to make sure that people understand that. And like if I can send you a video or whatever when you're feeling down, you can always send me a video, and I'm accessible, and I'm here to listen. It's not just about playing your songs, if it would be cool if it was, but it's not that. So you have to realize it's not just that, and just fucking go at it, man, and just do the best you can, and treat people with respect and kindness, and like we kept saying over and over, that shit will come back to you. People may not even love my music, but if they like me as a person, they're more willing to come pay that $15 to come see me, just to support somebody that's their friend. Doesn't have to be your thing, but you like somebody, and that it just, all that stuff works together, and going back to like Monty Luna and bands like that, there have been bands that were on the same path, coming up the same way, and it's just nice to have people to bounce ideas off, to ask questions about, who are honest with you and that have your back 100%, so there's nothing nefarious going on or anything like that. That's just, it makes it easier on everybody to be able to produce like the best music that they can, because they don't have to worry about all the frivolous crap, so it all works together. It all stacks up to make the music as good as it can be. So I think it's a huge part of it, man. Like, if you're enjoying yourself and people are receptive and people are cool to you and you're cool to people, it makes you just want to keep doing it, so it's the snowball effect, I guess.
Yeah, well, I hope that the snowball keeps gathering more snow, and that you're able to play some shows, that things keep settling down a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's really been wonderful to have you on as a guest, just to talk to you, to get to meet you finally. But yeah, I will continue to be one of those people who listens to the music and supports what you're doing. And, we're helping each other out. So it's great.
Yeah, man. I appreciate that. It's just, and I'll be doing the same for y'all. That's the way it works, so it's all moving up. We just kind of got to navigate this weird, world and cultural time together, and just be patient with each other, and just keep it moving forward. We'll get out of this, and we're all going to do big things together.
Absolutely. Heather, do you have any final words?
Well, it's wonderful that music brings people together, and that's what I love about it. That's what I love about the scene, is how it brings people together. And the people that you meet along the way, the friendships that you make. And, you know, I know we've talked about it before, but it's not something to take for granted.
Definitely. Very well said. Very well said.
Yeah, and for those of you out there, as we've said before, you're looking for just great music, check out Redbeard Wall. You can get all the albums on Bandcamp, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's next with regard to either playing music live or writing a new album or whatever. But I'm just glad to have finally I can put a face to the name, and yeah, we'll definitely stay in touch.
Yeah. Anytime y'all need anything at all, never hesitate. I'm always close by. I'll jump back on here with y'all anytime. Hopefully, maybe we can do a live stream performance at some time in the future or something. But any help y'all need, anything you need, you know where to find me. I'll be right there.
Sounds good.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much for joining us.
You're very welcome. Y'all be well. Like
You
I
too.
said, hit me up. Y'all don't be strangers. If you need to send me a message or tell me I'm doing something dumb, please don't hesitate. So,
All right.
Have a
Sounds
good
good. Take care.
day.